A lot of things on my brain. A lot of things on my brain on episode 79. That's right. 79, 78 came out at the same time. Why? Because Hannah's Wi Fi sucks. So her episode is only available audio. And I figured that all the people who subscribe to the show on YouTube need a reason, need to have something to look at, need to have something to be about, something to focus on. And I believe that my face is what you should focus on. Here are the things that I'm upset about. Well, there's a lot of things going through my brain as I was saying because like I'm about to shave, not all of it, but like a good chunk. I got to. I'm shooting a music video tomorrow, and I'm the star of it. And I got to thin out my beard, so it's going to go from like Grizzly Adams to like Grizzly Adams at a movie. You know, like where he like did the beard oil and did whatever. But I got to just lean it out. I got to shape it. I got to shape it. I got to stop petting it and combing it. But anyways, that's not the thing. So the other day it was late, and usually like back in the day when it was late, it was all about just like so many calls, like texts to the ladies, just like so many different like, hey girl, what's going on? But I can't do that because my girl's in the other room or she's next to me, so I can't do that. But I have all this like crazy energy and like, oh my gosh, it's so late, what am I going to do and how am I going to get this lateness on? How's that going to happen? And you know how it happens? It happens by me ordering stuff. Now I just ordered stuff, so of course the Tigers were in the playoffs, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, the Tigers in the playoffs! Why were they Why were they in the playoffs?" Well, obviously, it was because I threw out the first pitch against the Miami Marlins, and that's obviously why they made the playoffs. They rallied after my first pitch. They were like, "This is magic. What that kid just did on the mound was inspiring. Like, we need to step up. We need to equal out the passion that this kid had for throwing it out." I'm still wearing the hat that I was given by the Tigers organization that day, read Amanda Vaught. And I'm not wearing the shirt, but I am wearing my Skewball and Chaos shirt. That's what I hate about sports memorabilia and paraphernalia. It's like, and swag. I bought, like, it was late at night and I was like, you know what I need to do? I spent like $500. I bought the Detroit Lions jacket, like the varsity jacket with the leather with this, it was like $300. No reason. And it wasn't like I woke up the next day and I was like, what did I do? Because I don't get smashed. I sip, I drink, I have some drinks like a gentleman. I can't chug a lug and be the person I was during pandemic anymore. I've obviously grown, not in height, but I do wear elevator shoes, but I've never worn them on an escalator because then they would be escalator shoes. Unless the escalator stopped, then it would be stair shoes, and everyone would be staring at me as I wore escalator shoes on a staircase when I could have taken the elevator. Follow along. As I said earlier, in my 20s, I was all like, hey man, you know what I need? I need to call the girls and be like, what's going on, ladies? I'm going to rule the world. And now I'm like, wait a second. I can have 6 whole Triscuits and that's only 140 calories. Life is grand. Life is great. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to do these things. But I bought this Lions paraphernalia and I was like, all right, Lions, let's do this. Let's happen. Let's make this work, right? If you like the show, by the way, you should follow us on YouTube, which you're listening to or watching, or if you're listening to the show and you're like, I kind of want to see him, he's good looking, you should go watch the show on YouTube at Newberg Pod. Or if you're watching on YouTube and you're like, maybe I want to listen to this in the car. Maybe his beauty is something that makes me feel guilty, and I only want to listen to this like on a treadmill or on escalator stairs. And then you should follow us wherever it is that you pod. The thing is, I need to keep going with my point. So we're always talking. We're always doing the thing here on the Newberg Pod. I'm Newberg. This is my pod. And it's a bunch of stuff on my brain. So the paraphernalia, I'm so proud to be a Detroit Tigers fan, a Detroit Lions fan, a Detroit Pistons fan, a Detroit Red Wings fan. I'm proud of my friendship with Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup winner. I'm proud of my best friendship with Tayshaun Prince. It's not true. We've never met. But I did I was part of the national anthem at a Piston game, so that's part of my thing. Tigers game, first pitch. Detroit Lions, I don't know what I'm going to do with that organization yet, but I'm going to do something there. I will be on the sidelines. I will pull something off. If it's comedy, I will get in touch with that organization, and I will make it happen because Dan Campbell is a delight. Anyways, I buy this Skewball and Chaos shirt, and they lose. So now I've got this Skewball and Chaos shirt, so maybe it's like Skewball and next season, which would be a better thing. And then Made in Detroit gets all excited with their T-shirts. They're like, we're going to go green and white and be made in Detroit, but it's green and white for East Lansing. How about made in East Lansing? It makes more sense. And they're like, made in Detroit and it's blue and yellow. How about made in Ann Arbor? Buy made in Detroit. Think it through. Also, here are the other two things that I don't understand, especially when it comes to politics. Why has there never been a zine called MAGA by Trump? He sells everything. He sells everything. He sells shoes. He sells Bibles. He sells watches. He sells condos. Why not a zine called MAGA? Then it would be a MAGA zine. Also, another T-shirt I don't understand that isn't huge for of the Trump fella is why doesn't he says make MAGA, have a great, we all have a great, use your imagination, like imagination, but people would go nuts. They would buy that shit. Like, why am I helping this guy out? Also, when it comes to the election, I have two thoughts. Number one, I don't care who you vote for. Good for you. I love that we have the freedom of choice. I think I've said this before, either on a pod or on stage or something. Whoever you want to vote for, you think they're winning. You think they're the best. You think they're the greatest. You think, like, in every debate, like if you think Couch Guy beat up Tampon Dude, and if you love Couch Guy, and if you love Tampon Dude, you think Couch Guy was embarrassing. And when old guy argued with unlikable lady, you were like, old guy crushed unlikable lady. She had so many lies, and unlikable lady was like, she made old guy look stupid and dogs and cats. Listen, here's my whole thought on this situation. One, I like to write jokes. So whatever I see funny, I'm going to make a comment. Doesn't mean I'm one way or the other. Just means I like to write jokes. Secondly, he scares the hell out of me. He's bananas. He is a bananas person. And two, if she was going to do all the things that she said she was going to do, why hasn't she done it in the last 4 years? Not a lot of great choices. Not a lot of great choices. It's going to be weird. Got to tell you, it's going to be a weird thing. It's going to be a lesser of two evil situation. That's my opinion right here. This guy. So here we go on the show. I was just in Detroit, and I did my very first theater show. If you were there, you know that there was 5 million people there. There was 5,000 people there. It was a 1,000-seat venue. There was 1,000 people wall to wall in it, and there was also 4,000 people squished together outside of it. There were so many people. If you weren't there, if you were there, you know that there was several hundred people there who enjoyed themselves, and it was such a great experience because so many different times in my life, I burped just like that. So many different times in my life, have been so fortunate and so blessed, unless you're an atheist, then I've been so fortunate and so thoughts to basically be on as tour support on theater shows. Like so many comics like would kill for an opportunity to be support on a theater or an arena or a stadium. And I've done all of them, but not as myself. So I made the decision, I'm going to try to start doing theaters because that's what I think I should do. I think I'm good enough. I know I'm good enough. And I definitely know that my audience base continues to grow, sort of like my face, which I'm going to shave soon. Not shave, trim is a better word. Trim. Remember when trim, when you were younger, meant like sex? You're like, I'm going to get some trim. But if you think about it, it's just like, wait a second, you're going to cut your, never mind. Anyways, so I do this theater show and I decide, well, I have to do at least an hour. And I have to do everything that's definitely in the same realm of a headlining theater set. Like, okay, so what does that consist of? A lot of time. It can't be just joke. That'll get tiring. So for the first time in my entire life, I was like, all right, well, I need to talk about who I am. I've never talked about who I am. Everybody knows me as the joke guy. Some people are like, well, maybe he kind of looks like if Santa fucked a panda, or like, you know, if a raccoon got attacked by a hairdryer, or just some people are like, maybe he's just the best looking Viking that just never has been on a boat. There's so many different choices, right? So many different choices, but they're all correct, you know, because as long as I know the right answer, it doesn't matter. So I'm at my show, and I make the decision to call my dear friend Steve Taylor, who I love, who I've known for many years, and I've been in a band with, and I've written songs with, and I called my friend Dave, who's the reason that I started doing music. And Dave was great. Dave was the first guy, co-founder of the Voodoo Hippies, and Steve was one of the original. No, he wasn't. He was like the fifth generation member. He was like, but much longer than me. So, anyways, these are guys I just admire. Their musicianship is incredible. So I decided I'm going to bring them on stage, them up on stage, them up on stage, them up on stage, remix, and I'm like, cool, it's going to be great. I'm sober, by the way. It's the morning. I don't even drink caffeine. That's the weird part. I drink water through a plastic cup because I like it. Anyways, that's my face. That's my body. That's my record. That's my dad's license plate. Anyways, so I start talking about myself. I walk on stage and I say, and it was the beginning. Like, I've been missing a beginning to my first hour because for the longest time, the beginning of my hour was like, the beginning of my old hour was, I just got back from wherever. We had a black pilot. Flight took forever. We had a black pilot. He kept getting pulled over. It was a great opening for my last hour, and then I kind of recently morphed it into. Then I did this second hour, and it was an airplane bit. It was another airplane bit, but it was about a passenger saying bomb, and then I started into another one where I did this car chase bit, where I thought was kind of funny, but I was like, it's not really honest. It's not really missing. It's not really connecting with what I want. It's missing the mark. So how will I do this? And I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to be honest. So I went out there and I got on stage and I was like, I'm just going to tell the truth. And I just started talking and I just started talking about who I am, but I was able to make it funny. I started talking the truth. I was raised by my 6'7" World War II veteran grandfather who was an alcoholic, cross dresser. He would every morning wake me up and he would play reveille on a phonograph. And he would wake me up at 7 and he'd be like, you need to get ready for the war. And I'm like, I'm 7. And then he would make me breakfast. And then he would like always like, then he would drive me to school. Then he would get drunk off his ass. Just like, he's so drunk he couldn't move because he was 6'7". My grandma couldn't do anything. She was like this tall, tough Italian lady, loved making meatballs, always with a cigarette dangling from her throat. And she was tough. She always had the cigarette. She would do like 4 packs a day, menthols. Ooh. And she was always smoking. And they were tough, but they raised me. And it was just a unique childhood. And my mother was a sex worker. She was a professional, and I mixed in jokes. And my father, I didn't meet until I was 18, and he died by overindulgence. He kind of killed himself with his choice to not be on the world. And I went into all this, and I weaved jokes in and out of them, and I was honest, and it was like, and I was talking about how like, oh, my grandfather. And it was just crazy. I was like, oh, my grandfather, we'll see it in the next special. But I weaved all of this stuff and it was just honest. And it was like this emotion, like my friend Charles said, that was one of the coolest things I've seen. It was like you had emotional connectivity with the audience. Like, it was really sad and honest, but it was also super funny. And I was like, that's what I was going for. And I know that the people connected to it because there was people who stood up at the end, people who stood up, and the people on the lawn may not have stood up. They might have stood up, but I don't know because I didn't see it, because I was just, thank you. And I was just such a thrill. We did like a 12-minute version of Too Soon, 12 minutes, eat a dick, Freebird. Like, that's just such a long, magnificent, there were so many new jokes in there, and it felt great. And I got to play with Steve and Dave was soloing, and it's just always funny to see people's different like approach to performance. Like, mine is, I don't care. It's not necessarily I don't care. It's that performing makes me feel so very good that I just go. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's do it. Let's go. Here we go. I don't need any preparation. I'm just like, this is going to happen. I go. Steve's kind of the same way. He's been doing it a long time. He gets out there, hits them hard. Dave, who is as talented as both of us, more so than myself at guitar. He's tremendous. Nervous as fuck. He's pacing around backstage. He's like, oh, I'm just nervous. I don't know what to do. And he's like, he's one of the greatest guitar players I've ever played or ever seen. and I've seen at least two other guitar players. I've seen several guitar players. Anyways, so yeah, that's that. I just wanted to share that part of it, and I'm going to keep talking for a little bit longer because I've got some other things I want to share with you. Recently, as I was talking about like the political thing, I was talking about the political thing. Listen, the only way I look at politics is from a joke perspective. From a joke perspective, nothing you can say is going to change my mind about who I'm going to vote for. And to be honest with you, again, I'm going to say it: not two great choices, not two great choices. Uh, um, I heard it best. Somebody said Kamala Harris, not great, and somebody else said Trump, maybe worse. And it's just like, so that's the thing. But whatever your opinion is your opinion. My opinion is mine. Never, like, you're never going to change someone else's opinion. You're not going to change mine. Great. That's why we live in America. Everything's awesome. But I do love political jokes. I'm in Vietnam right now. The plane that's over is a helicopter, and they're going to be shooting at me soon. Thank goodness I'm in a foxhole. But if you were in a foxhole and there was a fox in there, wouldn't it be kind of weird? Like, don't you think the fox would get all 2024 weird? Be like, why is it a foxhole? Why can't it just be a hole with a fox in it? You know what I mean? It's kind of like hot yoga. Like, who decides how hot those people are? Like, when is it moderately attractive yoga? When is it ugly yoga? Because most yoga is pretty ugly. You're like, you have all the stuff. So there it is. Anyways, back to me. So we're talking about jokes, political jokes. I was watching the debate with the vice president and the vice. First off, you can't do it's old news, but there's nothing better in the history of debates when he was like, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. It's a song. They've turned it into songs. It's amazing. And when during the vice presidential debate, when Walls was like, I'm pro women, and Trump's like, and JD Vance is like, oh, Trump's been with some women who are pros. That obviously didn't happen, but I thought it was funny, and I did it. Anyways, so this is what I've been doing lately, and I'm just going to read you some of them because it's just funny to me. It's the Halloween season, and a lot of people are on board with Halloween stuff, but there's a way to make money online with social media on Threads. I've been doing this lately, and basically what it is you have to get a certain number of threads. Threads is the equivalent to Twitter's tweets. A thread is an Instagram tweet, whatever. It's the same thing. So I've been doing a lot of these things, and what I do is I'll go to the trending topics, and a lot of times the topics that are trending are political, and because they're political, I don't really have an opinion on them, but I can figure out how to do the joke. Like, apparently there was a debate yesterday between Ted Cruz and Colin Allred. I truth be told, I'm not entirely sure who Colin Allred is. I don't know if that offends someone, but I would imagine they're from Texas. And I read all these comments, and the majority said that he defeated Cruz. I didn't see it. I don't have a dog in this fight, but I was like, what's the joke there? So then I remembered Cruz went to Cancun during a blackout. So I wrote, Ted's planning on going to another trip to Cancun because his power is about to be out. Funny joke. Got like 800 or 900 things, and you have to get 750 minimum and like a collection of all these different things. Eventually you can make like $500-600 a month. And I've been doing it. It's a great side hustle. But like, here's another example. This one did really well, thousands. The trending topic was Jimmy Carter votes Kamala Harris. Again, no opinion on this, but the joke, Jimmy Carter's 100, so it's probably an age joke, right? So it's probably an age goes to sleep joke. So I'm like, in early voting, Jimmy Carter votes Kamala Harris, which was the trend. Then he went off to bed at 2. Like, that's funny. Just with the word 2 is funny because he's 100 and they probably go to sleep earlier. Plus, he was like, all I want to do is make it. Like, what a weird goal. Like, he's like, all I want to do is stay alive till I get to vote for Kamala Harris. All right, you just did that. Buckle up. Maybe the second part of your wish is about to come true. That'd be super weird if it happened. I don't wish it on him. I hope he lives as long as he needs to live and wants to live and has a good, healthy, comfortable life. Anyways, stay away from me, Secret Service. Secret Service would be a cool name for like Amazon, because you never see the packages get delivered. You just wake up and you're like, holy crow, there's t-shirts on my lawn. That's awesome. As I said, I'm shooting a music video tomorrow for the guest on 2 weeks ago's show, Jessica Lee Mayfield. Very excited. Very excited to shoot this. Also, I've never rented a car before through Turo, so that's something I get to experience tomorrow. That's very exciting because it's like the Uber of whatever. I didn't want to take it because I don't have a car yet. I'm waiting for the insurance to tell me what I get for my car because it's totaled. But until then, it's just like good luck, buddy. Nothing's more nothing's more lease car, get it? Nothing's more less accessible than Los Angeles than not having a car. Like you can only walk so far, you know. And so then another thing, and then so another trending topic. These are just topics that have done very well for like all I do. Like I don't. My point is, some people would read my threads content and think I'm like one way or the other. When literally, I just need to get these 40 or so threads so I can make my $500 or $600, and then I go back to posting what I want to post. I'm just doing the work, but I don't care. Who cares? It's not like anyone worries about what I'm saying or is affected by it unless they get mad or unless I talk about Kid Rock. Also, I'll talk about videos again in a second. But anyways, this next one was when Aaron Rodgers gets sacked, I pretend it's for something he said on a podcast. That's the easiest joke because Aaron Rodgers has a bad game. He loses. He throws an interception and he got sacked a bunch. So I'm like, okay, he also talks a ton on podcasts and says a lot of annoying things. People on podcasts saying annoying things. I'm on a podcast. I say annoying things. I relate. So it's the easy thing. That one got a ton. And then Ariana Grande was trending. She was trending. I'm just helping you out with jokes, people. Anybody who listens who's a comic, you want to talk about jokes, go to the trending topics. Just try to write a joke in the trending topic. Ariana Grande was great on SNL, like steal SpongeBob from his wife great. Listen, I got no dog in that fight either. She was fantastic on SNL. She's so talented, and she's dating SpongeBob, who left his wife, and now they're together. Easy joke. So many people got worked up. I'm just gonna read a couple more, then I'm gonna go back to my other topics, and then I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna go get the old beer trimsicle. There was, I guess, militia threatened FEMA in North Carolina. So I posted a militia threatens FEMA, which was the trending thing. And but for sure they spelled it threatening, with the apostrophe, because it just works people up. But again, it comes across political. And then of course Aiden Hutchinson hurt himself. So I said Detroit is closed tomorrow because it probably was. Everyone in Detroit was sad. Tigers lose. Hutchinson goes down. Very sad. I hate TMZ and I hate KTLA. I will read them both on occasion, but they're like the bad news kings. Like every story in history of any television show or movie is kid stands up to bully, changes his life, bully cowers, whatever. KTLA posts a student who was reportedly standing up to a bully was hospitalized, and I'm laughing out of nervousness, after being stabbed at a Southern California middle school. Who carries a knife at middle school? Who is stabbing people? Also, great lesson. KTLA, what does it say? Don't stand up to bullies now? Or if you stand up to a bully, you'll get stabbed? Oh my gosh. All right, I'm just going to do two more jokes. Again, anything with Trump, when you're trying to get views, is the easiest thing. Anything with comma, views, easy, because Elon Musk, easy. If you're trying to get more content, or you're just trying to not necessarily get more content, trying to get more views, more likes, more attention, just go where people are talking about, because there's such a circle. It's like a vacuum of angry people all shouting into the void. So if you throw a joke up there, it's easy for them to be distracted, and it comes back. Dennis Quaid, I guess, was at a Trump rally, and he was pro-Trump. So I said, before you listen to the Dennis Quaid Trump rally, remember, Dennis Quaid also chose on purpose to be in a dog's journey. Holy bad mood. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Come on. All right, two more. Just two more. Every time I post anything about Kid Rock, people get so worked up. Like, I can't tell you how many times people have called me gay, like a cuck, just because I said something about Kid Rock's music. People are triggered. Anyways, Kid Rock, when Devil Without a Cause came out, I loved it. That was great. I thought it was a great record. Still think it's a great record. But like there was a lyric in it that was like, the northern lights and the southern comfort. It don't even matter if your veins are punctured. Like young me was like, yes, Yes, absolutely. It doesn't matter if your veins are punctured. But now I'm like, it kind of, kind of matters. Kind of matters. I don't know why I was thinking that. I don't know why I was on board with those thoughts. Doesn't make any sense to me. Now let's just quickly look at TMZ for 2 more seconds before we round it out. That's what I'm talking about. Like, see what I mean? Like, so for example, TMZ is all about starting shit. Selena Gomez gives homeless man $20 for food, says have a good meal. People are like, she's rich. She should give him way more. She gave him $20. She gave him a meal. He didn't have a meal. $20 is a ton of money to that dude. But people were like, she should have more compassion. What is she supposed to have move in with him? Was she supposed to like sponsor one? I mean, it's like she was trying to do something nice. People suck. People suck. It's just weird. Let's see. Austin man allegedly tried robbing pizza parlor and left in cuffs, looking beat up. Okay, that's not a thing. Um, all right, let's talk Halloween. It's Halloween, everybody. It's Halloween time, and I'll just close it out with my Halloween thoughts. Michelle loves to watch Halloween stuff. She loves scary stuff. She's like really into American Horror Story. She loves it. It's her favorite thing. Um, Her favorite thing. Oh wait, side note, before I go into Halloween to close it out, uh, I noticed something on my Instagram videos, which has started to pop again, is when I talk shit about bands, like any bands, like bands that like are questionable, like Rage Against the Machine or Coldplay or Creed or Kid Rock or Ted Nugent or like Hootie and the Blowfish. Listen, I love music. I love most music, pretty much all music, and I can find something great in any band in any song, with the exception of Greta Van Fleet. Can't. Oh, they're next. I got to do them next. But I've realized that there's an uptick in people getting worked up over music stuff. So I'm going to keep posting music stuff, music video stuff, because it's, I mean, it's going to be funny. I'm funny, obviously. Look at my teeth. I'm funny. So I just noticed that. So if you see more music stuff, it's on purpose. It's definitely on purpose. And I also have my next hour. I just need to run it, and I'm very excited about it. So let's quickly discuss Halloween before I get the F out of here and go get my beard under control in a magical component, in a magical way. Michelle loves scary stuff. I don't really like scary stuff because it's like makes me like I don't understand like what people's obsession is with like why do people love Halloween the most? Like, is it the candy? Like, do people love candy? Which is weird. Like, for adults, it seems like it's like holidays get weird in reverse when you're adults. Like, maybe it's about giving people candy. You're like, here's like when you're young, you're like candy. And you'd go out, and you'd have a pillowcase, and you'd get a ton of candy, and you dump it on the floor, and your parents would look through the candy and they would take all the drugs out and they would do the drugs. And you'd be like, why is mom so happy? She'd be like, she just had some cocaine and like, the razor blades out of the apples. But remember when they would find razor blades and apples? Couldn't you think like you'd see the slot that was like where how would else would you would notice it? Like I don't know who doesn't see that unless you don't peruse the whole circumference of the apple. Then maybe that would make sense. But like, is it the pumpkins? Like cutting a pumpkin is a challenge. Is it the art of the jack-o'-lantern? Is it the pumpkin seeds? Is it like because you like to make pumpkin seeds? Is that fun? Um, what is it? Is it the black cats? Is it like Heidi Klum's legendary costumes? Like, what are the popular costumes this year? You think it's probably like P. Diddy, like, and baby oil. Like, that's probably a big one. And like the Joker is probably one. Like, everyone's probably the Jokering. Um, and like maybe Barbie's probably still got a little Barbie in her. Uh, I don't know. It just doesn't matter. Like, but like Halloween, people seem to get like Halloween is sort of like alt rock Christmas. It seems to be like ever since Blink 182 was like, I love Halloween on Christmas. People are like, yeah, Halloween's the biggest thing. Like some people, Halloween is like the birthday month of holidays. It's like not all of December is Christmas, most of it, because like 3 weeks into it, it shuts down, then it becomes New Year. So it's like, but like October 1st, people go nuts. The goth makeup, the black lipstick, the wigs, the cats, like I said before. It's bananas. I like it, but not as much as I did when I was younger. Because I mean, it's like, yeah, you used to have the slutty costume component, like that was fun, but like remember, like Imagine like in the 90s, like when Friends characters, like you would like there's a timeline, like certain Halloween costumes just age out. Like no one's gonna go as like Ross. You know what I mean? Like, oh, who are you? I'm Ross. Okay, that's insane. Why would you go as Ross? I don't know. It's crazy. Like, and I don't know. It's just what it is. It is what it is. Anyways, I think I've talked about a bunch of stuff. I love y'all. I love that you're here. I love that you're listening. Uh, I love that you do. I love that I get to do this. It's such a blessing. It's such a gift. Thank you for everyone who listened. Thank you for everyone who watched. Thank you for everyone who is everyone. And I will see you next week with a different beer.